Welcome back to the Final K. In this video, I'm going to be giving a preview of the Volta Catalunya. All the stages look brilliant and the start list as well looks unreal, so I'm going to be giving 5 riders to watch throughout it. I will also be live for every stage of this Volta Catalunya next week, so let's get straight into it. In this Volta Catalunya, we are looking at 3 summit finishes, 3 puncher stages, and 1 possible opportunity for a versatile sprint. So this is stage 1. It starts and finishes in the same town. It is 172 kilometers long and is the first of 3 puncher stages. There is a big category 1 climb in the middle of it, and then towards the end of the stage, there's a bit more hills. They aren't categorized or anything, but it's a bit hilly. And then I think the sprint up to the finish is also uphill. So this is stage 2, and it is the second of 3 puncher stages. It is 167 kilometers long. But yeah, 1 categorized climb in it. It is a category 3 climb right at the start, but apart from that, it just does look it looks a bit rough if you are a sprinter. So potentially a versatile sprint, I'm not sure, but I think it is going to be a puncher, maybe an attack on the one of the final hills towards the end. So this is stage 3, and the stage that I'm dubbing as a potential versatile sprint one. I know looking at it, it doesn't look it, but it is 159 kilometers long, and the only reason I'm dubbing this as a potential versatile sprint because the next 3 stages after this one do look a bit brutal, so I think they might take this one a bit easier before the next 3 days. So there is a potential of a bunch finish, like a versatile sprinter potentially getting it. But yeah, that's stage 3. Stage 4, and it is the first of the 3 summit finishes. It is 173 kilometers long, and they finish up the Volta climb, the famous Volta climb at the Catalunya. It is 11.4 kilometers and has an average of 7.5%. The last time they did this, Tadej Pogačar won it. Stage 5 looks absolutely brutal at 155 kilometers long. It has got 1 category 2 climb, 3 category 1 climbs, and then a summit finish up the Col de Pal. Now this one is longer than the Volta at 16.6 kilometers long and has an average of 7.2%. Stage 6 sees the final of the summit finishes at 158 kilometers. They climb the Quaralt. So this climb is half the length of the Volta and a third of the length of the Col de Pal, but it is still a summit finish. It is 5.6 kilometers long and has an average of 7.5%. And the last stage, which looks like a very fun stage, it is in Barcelona. It's 95 kilometers long. They start in Barcelona and then they must go out a bit, and then they come back in and they do 8 laps of Barcelona and finish the Volta Catalunya. So now that the stages are out of the way, let's have a look at 5 riders to watch at this year's Volta Catalunya. As you can see, Primož Roglič won it last year, but he's not attending this year, so there will be no back-to-back winners. So the first on the list is Oscar Onley at Ineos. As you know, Onley got 4th in the Tour de France last year with Picnic Postinel, and then he left to join Ineos there in the transfer season. He rode the Volta Algarve there at the start of the season and was already showing signs, as he only got beat on the line in the final stage by Juan Ayuso. He then went to the Paris-Nice there last week, and he ended up crashing and then falling ill and having to abandon. So hopefully here at the Volta Catalunya, Ineos seem to be bringing a good team around him. They've got Carlos Rodriguez. Egan Bernal was there, but he dropped it from his schedule. I think Dorian Gudon is also going, so he seems to have a pretty decent team around him, and he was pretty good in the steep mountains at the Tour de France, so I'm hoping for a good show from him as well. The second rider to watch is Tom Pidcock. Last year, Tom Pidcock surprised a lot of people as he got 3rd in GC at the Vuelta a España, so I've got him on this list as we're back in Spain, a lot of high mountains, and I'm hoping he can bring that form across to the Volta Catalunya. He's had a good start to this season, so he got 2nd in the Clásica Jaén, and then he got a win in the Vuelta Andalucía. He then got top 10 at the Strada Bianca, and then he just won the Milano Torino there after putting on an amazing show in the final climb. Now, the third rider to watch at this year's Volta Catalunya is someone, when I reveal him here, you're going to go, why have you got him on the list? But just trust me. The third rider to watch is Remco Evenepoel. Now, it's going to be his first race since the UAE Tour. Now, he didn't perform that well when it came to the mountain stages. He won the time trial, but when it came to the mountain stages, he ended up dropping quite a lot. But the main reason I've got Remco Evenepoel on here is because Florian Lipowitz is riding it as well. Now, this is going to be the first race that these two have rode together since, there was a couple Mallorca races at the start of the season. They both of them rode a team time trial together, so this is the first proper race that they're riding together. So I'm thinking, is Remco going to go in as the leader, and then when he drops in the mountain stages, Lipowitz will then take over as the leader, or is Lipowitz going to go in as the leader and then Remco's going to work for him? Now, I know in 2023 Remco came 2nd in this race. He got 3rd up the Volta behind Primož Roglič and Ciccone, and then in the La Molina stage, which is stage 5 this year, he won it. So or we're going to say, I don't have a lot of expectation because of how he performed in the UAE Tour, but then again, that was early in the season. Now, before I get into the top 2 riders, I want to give a couple honourable mentions as per usual. So the first 2 are Mikel Landa and Enric Mas. They got 3rd and 4th at last year's Volta Catalunya, and this is going to be Mikel Landa's first race of the season. Enric Mas, he raced in the team time trial and another stage race in the Mallorca, but apart from that, this is pretty much going to be his first proper race. Another one is Utebrooks at Movistar. He rode the Milano Torino with Tom Pidcock and ended up getting 5th. But apart from that, it's going to be his first race with Enric Mas as well in the Movistar colours. Matthew Riccatello and Felix Gall. Now, Matthew Riccatello got 11th last year and comes back with a brand new team. He was a brilliant domestique for Paul Sexas in the Volta Algarve, so I'm just someone to keep an eye on when it comes to Felix Gall, as I'm going to talk about Felix Gall now. He rode the UAE Tour, and both the mountain climbs he attacked too early and ended up getting caught. So now if you can get it right this time with someone like Matthew Riccatello, who could maybe get him in a good position, you never know. But even Matthew Riccatello, he could be the main guy if Felix Gall ends up dropping. So just 2 riders to keep an eye on. And lastly is Richard Carapaz, who hasn't had the best starts to the season, to be honest. And this is the last race noted down before his Giro d'Italia campaign starts. So quite a lot of pressure. I would say quite a lot of pressure. I'd say he's got quite a lot of pressure on himself to perform before the Giro d'Italia starts, so he's got a good bit of form going into it. Back to the top 5. Now, second on this list is Joao Almeida. Now, like I said in the Pyrenees video, he hasn't had the best of a start to his season in regards to his standards. Now, he was meant to ride the Pyrenees, but he ended up dropping out due to illness. So he comes to the Volta Catalunya, but he is also riding the Giro as UAE's main guy, so he'll need to get into a bit of good form here before the Giro starts. So is this going to be the race where we see Joao Almeida shine again? And the last rider to watch on this list is Florian Lipowitz. So I'm saying to keep an eye on him because, like I said, with Remco, who's going to be working for who, but also I'm hoping to see a good battle between him and Oscar Onley, sort of replicating that Tour de France battle towards the end of it. And, you know, Onley's at a new team and Florian Lipowitz seems to be one of the main guys at Red Bull, so it's Florian Lipowitz, keep an eye on him. Now, you're probably wondering why I didn't say Jonas Vingegaard, and I mean, was there any point? He's just off the back of winning the Pyrenees there, and he just broke the record for the time to the second place. Eddie Merckx held that record, and now Jonas Vingegaard has just beat it. So he won 2 stages at the Pyrenees, and he's riding the Giro after this, so he's going to ride this. He'll probably win it, and he'll have that Giro in his sights. Time for my predictions for each jersey, and I mean, it's not going to be that hard because the past 2 years, the rider that won the GC also won the points jersey and the KOM jersey. So the rider I think that is going to win the Volta Catalunya this year is Jonas Vingegaard. Now, for the points jersey, there's quite a lot of punchy stages and quite a lot of punchier riders racing as well. So I don't know if Jonas Vingegaard is going to get this jersey. I'd still sort of say he will, but I mean, Tom Pidcock potentially might get a stage and he might stay within the top 5 and 10 for each punchy stage. And there's also 3 intermediate sprints as well for each stage. So, I mean, you never know, but if it isn't Jonas Vingegaard, I think it'll be Tom Pidcock. As for the white jersey, we have sort of really only got 2 main contenders for it. Well, one, I guess. There's Jürgen Nordhagen at Jumbo-Visma. I highly doubt it. There is Utebrooks at Movistar and Oscar Onley of Ineos. They're the main 2. And I think Oscar Onley is going to get it. So who do you think is going to win the Volta Catalunya? Let me know in the comments below. But apart from that, that's the end of the video. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm nearly at 100 subscribers. So don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like the video as well. And I will be live for every stage of the Volta Catalunya next week if you want to come and join me. Thanks for watching The Final K, and all the best.